Guess what, everyone? Stadia is going free today. Hello? Is this thing working? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello? Anyone? Joking aside, it is true. Stadia is going free. Stadia Base has launched at long last. And, well, I don't know. I just haven't seen that much coverage on it. If there is coverage, there's just not a lot of reaction to it. Generally, people just don't seem to care. A lot of people seem to have already written Stadia off, though there are some people who have tried it out with mixed results. Some people are having no issues with their internet connection. Others are experiencing lag and stutters and the like, so it's just the usual. Too many technical issues for this to be deemed, I think, a final product, especially with the lack of games, lack of features, with a business model that is not encouraging, really, given that you have to buy every game individually rather than being a subscription model that gives you access to a whole library of games. But there is a free version that you can at the very least try out before seeing if it's for you or not. So this is a blog post from Google that was posted by Phil Harrison, which reads, "Play Stadia Pro for free starting today." So on top of Stadia Base launching, they are doing an offer where you get to have Stadia Pro for 2 months free trial before having to spend money, $10 every month. So here's what the blog post reads like. "We are facing some of the most challenging times in recent memory. Keeping social distance is vital, but staying home for long periods can be difficult and feel isolating. Video games can be a valuable way to socialize with friends and family when you're stuck at home, so we're giving gamers in 14 countries free access to Stadia Pro for 2 months. This is starting today and rolling out over the next 48 hours. So Stadia Pro is what gives you 4K and also 5.1 surround sound, among other things, like a library of free games, very specific free games, and they keep adding to that library every couple weeks or so. Currently, the library of free games is pretty meager, and just the library of games as a whole is pretty meager. And what games there are, they're all old games or just games that are not particularly console sellers." And then this blog post continues, "Anyone who signs up will get 2 free months of Stadia Pro with instant access to 9 games, including Grid, Destiny 2, The Collection, and Thumper." And you can actually see the full list of Stadia Pro free games right here. So there's Destiny 2, Grid, Guild, Metro Exodus, SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh, Thumper, and then these 3 games coming in April: Serious Sam, The Collection, Splitlings, and Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. So as you can see, not the most compelling library. These titles are not really going to draw anyone in, but they're there for those who do get Stadia Pro. And because you do have 2 months for free with Stadia Pro with the current offer, you do get to, at the very least, try the service out and see where it takes you and see if your internet connection is working for Stadia, if it can handle the cloud service. The blog post then adds how you can purchase even more games on the store, which will remain yours to play even if you cancel your Stadia Pro subscription. So that's the part about Stadia that I think is killing it, the fact that you have to spend full price on these titles. And more often than not, they are more expensive than if you buy them on other platforms where they are on sale. The post continues, "If you're already a paid Stadia Pro subscriber, we won't charge you for the next 2 months. After that, Stadia Pro is $9.99 a month, but you can opt out of your subscription at any time. If you're new, playing on Stadia is simple." And then here's a set of instructions that you can read for yourself. And then the blog post concludes with increased demand due to more people at home during this time, we're taking a responsible approach to internet traffic. For Stadia, we have always adjusted bandwidth use based on a variety of in-home and local internet factors. To reduce load on the internet further, we're working toward a temporary feature that changes the default screen resolution from 4K to 1080p. The vast majority of people on a desktop or laptop won't notice a significant drop in gameplay quality, but you can choose your data usage options in the Stadia app. Now, I'm going to have to completely disagree with the notion that the vast majority of people on desktop or laptop won't notice a significant drop in quality. The visuals from 4K to 1080p when you're streaming games is substantial. You get a lot more artifacting, a lot more jagged edges with a lack of aliasing. You just get a significant visual downgrade. Everything just looks blurrier. You'll notice a visual difference, especially if you're playing on a desktop where the monitor is right there in front of you, or on a laptop. It's not to the point where a game is unplayable per se, but it is a significant drop in, at the very least, visual quality. It's just a less ideal experience compared to playing in local hardware, where you don't get all of that artifacting, you don't get any of the issues with streaming, whether it be stuttering, input lag, and compression. There is that disadvantage. But it does say right here that you can choose your data usage options in the Stadia app. So by default, they're going to set everything to 1080p to more responsibly handle internet traffic, but they're not disabling 4K outright, which they cannot do given they're charging money for that feature. And so if you go to your data usage options in the Stadia app, you can crank that up to 4K. But even then, keep in mind that not all games run at the promised 4K. It's upscaled 4K for a lot of these big games rather than true 4K, which is what was advertised for Stadia before its launch. So yeah, that's that. And the reaction to this blog post has been meh among the general public. There are, hardcore Stadia fans who are really happy about this so that more people can join Stadia and bolster the player base, especially for online games like Destiny 2, which feel like a wasteland right now. But the general public, you look at comment sections and you're just seeing stuff like press F to pay respects, and stuff like, I can't deny that this is the first thing that comes to mind about this. Here's another comment section where the top comment is, nah, I'm good. And somebody notes that it's free, and so you can at least try it out. It doesn't do harm to just try it. But other people are noting that if it worked more like Game Pass, then that'd be one thing, but the fact that you have to purchase every game individually at full price makes this a less than ideal offer. Paying full price for versions of games that may stutter and lag and feature video artifacting and compression, and that on top of having to pay monthly for Stadia Pro, it's just too risky to get Stadia right now to pay full price for games, given that you never know what your experience is going to be like. Even if you have good internet connection, you might experience issues because of technical issues that Google hasn't resolved on their end. Not to mention the general optics surrounding Stadia, that it's a failing platform. And with Google's history of having killed off so many other projects in the past, people get the sense that Stadia might be another one of those things that Google will quickly abandon, and if that happens, people might lose access to all of their games and all of their purchases. All of those purchases will go down the drain, and there are plenty of fear surrounding that aspect of things as well. And you can see the desperation in Google with how much they're going out of their way to give out Stadia Pro for free. Right now, instead of just doing Stadia Base and putting that out there, they're also giving out Stadia Pro, 2 months of that, to pretty much anyone who can set up a Gmail account. And then beyond that, we saw that back in April 3rd, 2020, a few days ago, YouTube Premium members were starting to get Stadia Pro trials for free. And then even before that, on March 6, 2020, Google was giving away 3 months of Stadia Pro access to just any Chromecast owners. Before that, anyone who subscribed to Verizon Fios were getting the entire $130 Founders Edition kit, which includes Stadia Pro and the controller, among other things. And then even before that, back in December 2019, Stadia was giving away extra buddy passes to Founders Edition owners, and buddy passes, for those who don't know, are codes that you can give away to a friend to also access Stadia Pro for free for a limited time, for a couple months, 3 months. And so just the fact that they constantly kept pushing free giveaways for Stadia Pro goes to show that not many people bought into Stadia, that the player base was something they needed to bolster. That's the only reason they would give away Stadia so aggressively. And the state of Stadia becomes even clearer when you look at this January 2020 article from Pocket Gamer talking about how a grand total of 550,000 installs were recorded between November 5th, 2019 to January 13th, 2020 for the Stadia app, which is required to access Stadia. So this gives us an idea for how many people actually got access to Stadia. And that means that given that a significant portion of the 550,000 installs was from buddy passes and free giveaways, the total number of people who actually bought Founders Edition Stadia, it's probably not very big. It's probably in the 200 or 300,000 as of January. Now that number is obviously going to go up significantly with the free version of Stadia out now, but how many people actually stick around and keep purchasing games and keep engaging with games and with online titles like Destiny 2 that are largely dependent on a strong player base, that remains to be seen. Meanwhile, while Stadia is struggling to gain positive attention or to garner interest from the mass public, GeForce Now apparently is selling out of Founders subscriptions in Europe, with North America not far behind. And this is despite the fact that GeForce Now has been experiencing issues of certain publishers and developers pulling out their games from GeForce Now, which is a whole other topic on its own. But there's still plenty of games that GeForce Now allows you to take advantage of. The way this cloud service works is that you get to take the games that you have already purchased on your preferred platforms like Steam, you take those to a virtual desktop environment via the cloud, and then you get to play that game via the cloud in any device, whether it's PC, tablet, Android phone, whatever it is. And so that's, I think, a great way to do it, where you get the option of both cloud gaming and, local hardware gaming with just one purchase, the purchase you made on Steam or whatever digital platform GeForce Now supports, which is a wide variety of them. And then GeForce Now, you pay a low subscription price for that virtual desktop environment, and it just works pretty well, and it's, I think, a very good solution and a good business model. And so I'm not surprised to see that it's gaining some traction, some popularity, though how it works out long-term is another matter entirely. But GeForce Now, xCloud, so many other cloud services seem like much more compelling value propositions for customers. And I think it's in large part why Stadia will fail so long as it retains the business model of pay full price for games that run only on the cloud. Not play on the cloud or, play on local hardware. It's just the cloud. And with cloud technology and with the internet infrastructure of the world not being ready for cloud gaming at the moment, with how many issues there are with cloud gaming, it's not worth paying full price for cloud-only versions of games that you don't have full access to, that you don't get to download. So yeah, this is where we're at, folks. Free Stadia, try it out. Might as well. It doesn't hurt if you're kind of curious about it. But at the same time, a lot of the issues surrounding this platform won't go away just because you can access the platform for free at 1080p and just because they're giving away a bunch of Stadia Pros. But this is one man's take on the current state of Stadia. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the state of the platform and whether you'll be trying out Stadia now that it's free. Drop a comment below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.